Lettre
Lettre. Go on, I'll try it.
and Doux.
Doux. Okay, lettre, Doux.
Doux.
Doux. Okay,
Yeah.
lettre, Doux. Hello my fellow second lifers and welcome back to Koffee with Tia, episode 9 part 1, a TProductions special, a talk show where we get up close and personal with second life talents and creators. A big shout out to our premium sponsors Access Event and 𝐃𝐀𝐕𝐈𝐃 for sponsoring today's episode. Access Event, starting 12th of every month, is a high quality event featuring the best of Second Life creations, specializing in accessory, animations and apparels, hair and cosmetics, decor, backdrops and clothes. One of the most iconic, fresh and elite event on Second Life. 𝐃𝐀𝐕𝐈𝐃, starting 17th of every month, brings to you the most elite, fashionable and bougie vibe on Second Life with its chic design. Experience one of the most unique, stylish and fashionable events on Second Life, featuring accessories, apparels, cosmetics, decor, discounted items, hair, HUDs and poses. I'm your host Tia Merchant, and in today's show we have a creator, an artist, ruling the hair market on Second Life. Individual, high-quality, luscious creations that we all urge to get our hands on as soon as it's out on the shelves. I'm lured in by his sheer talent and the magnetic persona. I'm very sure he's been ruling the hearts of many. One of the most humble and generous man I've met so far. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming owner of Douxhair, Mr. DAVIDCOOPER. Oof, that was a grand entrance, David. Welcome in. Welcome into Koffee with Tia. I'm absolutely ecstatic to have you on my show today.
Thank you so much, Tia. Like, actually, how we say it, like, it's Tia. In Spanish, that means aunt.
I get that so much. That's all right, David. You can call me Tia.
That's fine.
Oh, you are like always invisible, right?
But most of the time, I'm invisible. Like, it's just the easiest way. Otherwise, I'm a mess. I'm like 3 hairs, one on top of the other one. And like maybe a body just in parts because I'm always alpha out. Like it's a mess.
No, well, thank you so much for putting yourself together and coming here.
Thank you for inviting me.
All right, David. So the very first question I'd like to ask you is, how many times a day do you go to the gym? I'm just kidding.
Okay, I was like, how many times? Okay, I must confess I go like every day. I skip one day a week, but every day, every morning I do 2 hours lifting weight.
Oh, great. Are you into lifting as well? Lifting and having a lean body, right?
Exactly. I've always loved it, but since I have like my health issues, I have to stop. And now the doctors are telling me that I can start a little bit heavier, and like I'm trying, and it's like working. So I'm really happy.
So that's very good to hear. You know, you're making progress, and at the same time, you know, it's positively impacting you as well. Which, you know, if your mind is good, then everything else is good. You know, it's that mindset.
You're right. Yeah, I couldn't be happier. Like for real, like health is the most important thing in life. Like sometimes when we have it, we take it for granted. Once you don't have it, you realize what you're missing.
I agree on that. Through such crisis, then you actually realize like how important, you know, you should have taken care of yourself and how much we ignore in these everyday lifestyle. All right, let's get into a warm-up question then. Tell me, David, talk to me about your journey into the Second Life and how have you evolved over the years?
That's a pretty complicated question, actually. I started logging in, and I didn't want to actually, but I started when I was 19, when I was in business administration degree. At first I didn't want to join. I used to play The Sims sometimes, but I mostly used to play like PS4 games and all of those guns and stuff, you know, Resident Evil and all of those games, because like it's what I like the best. When I finished my second year, I think, exams, I promised a friend in real life I would join Second Life with him. So I did, and at first it was like super weird, super difficult, but I ended up loving it. And when I was like 2 or 3 months old in Second Life, it's when I started like liking all the creative process, like doing, I don't know, I love people doing clothes, doing makeup, or doing all that stuff. What I loved the most was like the organics, especially hair, since it was so difficult, like it required not only meshing but also texturing. I said, okay, I'm gonna focus on something different, and that only requires one thing. And since texturing technically okay for me, because I used to like make drawings of people here, like photographs, I said, okay, I'm gonna start like just texturing. And yeah, that's pretty much how I started doing skins, because it was like very similar to like editing pictures of avatars, you know. It was like pretty much the same thing, just searching for real life references and morphing them into the pictures, also drawing on top, of course, but it was pretty much the same thing. And once I had like a little bit of reputation, I guess, and I started doing skins and stuff, like then I said, okay, it's time for me to start meshing. So I did my own main stores, like there was like a practice, and like the buildings, all the textures, bakes, all of that. And then I said, okay, it's time now to do hair, which sucked, by the way, like my first hairs were terrible. But yeah, like I guess with time I just got better, and that was pretty much my evolution in Second Life.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I agree with you on that. Like, we all start from scratch and we all start from somewhere. And I think where you are now, found out that you actually applied for like a bank manager role, is it?
Yeah, and actually in my last year, like I don't know in the rest of countries, I think it's the same, but in Spain you have to work for like, what's the name in English, like gestoria, Spanish, like the people that do all the taxes things. Like if you have any illegal debt, you have to contact those people regarding your business. You have to like either work in a bank or gestoria, as I said. I'm sorry, I don't have a name, or anything regarding business. I was pretty convinced that I wanted to join a bank, so I did, and oh my god, like I hated it. I expected, and at first I was like, okay, like having so many years to join a bank and to work here, and now that I'm here, I hate it. I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life. But also on the other side, I was at the same time working in Second Life, so I was like, okay, I can like work for 1 or 2 more years here in Second Life, and then like save a little bit and maybe do my own business, you know. Like that was my plan at first.
So you really did not enjoy then, for sure.
No, definitely not. Like it's a good job, like it is, but you have to be convincing or like constantly your clients to like hire new products, like, you know, and like it was constant, and you could make no mistakes. Like I did just once. I worked for 3 or 4 months, I don't remember now. One mistake, I gave a man bring me a check, and I gave him the money. It was a match. It was like 150 or something like that. And I gave him the money and also put the money in his bank account. So like the bank was losing 150. At the end of the day, you have like to, I don't know the terms exactly in English, but you have like to balance, you know. You need to make sure you get and you give, and whatever, it must be balanced. And I saw there was 150 missing, and I knew it was that guy because it was the only person like with that number exactly. I had to call him because like the bank was, no, it's your responsibility, you have to do it, otherwise you have to pay for it. I said, okay, well, I called that man, and like thank God he gave me the money back so I could put it back in the bank account.
You are so generous, David. You're really generous now. You're giving money away for free, are you?
Like for sure, but he didn't say anything. Like I gave him the money, and I also gave him the money on his bank account, and he just shut and left. And I was like, man, like, you know, I just gave you like 300. Like you should have said something, especially if you knew I was a kid. Yeah, it was like 20 or no 21.
Good for that man that he actually gave you back, you know, and you kind of saved your life there.
For real, thanks God he did.
Oh, that's an interesting one, for sure. You know, as we say, humble beginnings lead to greater places in life, David. So you pursued a very prestigious degree in business administration. It talks about the economy, talks about people in general, really, which is completely different from your creative side, you know. Now that you are so successful and so creative, and we can see your creativity on all your designs and all your creations. So please talk to us about how did you get into the hair market? Is there some sort of connection with you regarding hair?
The thing is, I've always been, since I was little, like a very creative person, and I always needed to do something. Like I was 24/7 drawing. It was like my passion. And I also love everything related to hair. Like when I was like, I have curly hair myself, like naturally. And I was like 12 or 13, I was already straightening my hair and doing like pompadour hairstyles, all of that. Since I was little, I knew I wanted to do something that had to do with my, you know, like my artistic side. The thing is, it's really, really difficult to be good at it, if you know what I mean. And success. I'm just gonna focus on studying something related with business, and then I'm gonna see what I can do with my artistic side. I actually, apart from that, I also studied a little bit of barbery, also a little bit of as a hairstylist, you know, not a lot, but like a little bit. Like for example, I cut my mom's hair and my dad's hair also, and like sometimes if my mom wants like to have a nice hair like to last like a whole week, she's like, David, can you do like a blow up? And I do it. I practice with her. So I don't know, it was like since little I've always loved hair in general, and yeah, I have a hair business now. I guess if I wasn't in Second Life, I would have probably started like a hair salon or something, or a barbery, because I also love like cutting men hair.
Then this is like the perfect profession for you, right? If you're so much into hair, then. And I think your mom and dad were perfect experiments for you to actually like encourage you into that field, you know. So
Actually,
perfect. Yeah. So when your mom looks at your design now, is she proud that you've gone so far and you pursued your hair ambition this far?
Yeah, like she is. Like at first she didn't expect me to, like I didn't expect it. I expected either. But at first none of us thought I would be like working on a virtual game doing hair. I thought I would like make my own business or work for someone else at first and then do my own business. But like now she's like very proud, especially because I can work from home and like they can check on me, you know, like daily, so to make sure nothing happens to me and all that. I don't know, I think I'm a really lucky guy, like for real.
Oh, that's so sweet. That's so sweet. No, for sure. And it also like provides you with the comfortable spot you don't have to travel anywhere. You can like sit in one place, same time like looking after yourself in health wise as well, right?
Yeah, that's right, like 100%. Especially if you like get back to 2020 where with all the COVID thing, I could still work from home, not working and like thinking, oh my god, what's gonna happen? Like I don't know if I'm gonna have enough money and all of that. And I was lucky enough to say, okay, even if it goes wrong, I can still work a little bit and maybe like make enough to live.
Absolutely. I think it's one of the blessings that you know, when you are working remotely, you're working on a computer. I know it's like draining, but at the same time, the pandemic had hit us. We saw so much changes, you know, that we really think you must be really thankful for actually having a job that you can do it anywhere in the world, wherever you have internet, you know, or even like obviously for creating designs. I'm not sure, do you require internet for creating a hairstyle? So
no, that's the good thing about it. Like I can be on a plane and I can be like modeling her, and then when I like land with the Wi-Fi, I can upload it, so you can actually work anywhere.
Wow. And I know that like one of your quickest hair designs were, I think, from Ariana Grande or I don't know, from Rihanna or something. You made it like in a day. What was that? Tell us about it.
Like a 7-ring one. She released like the what's the name, like the video clip, like the clip, and like when I saw it I was like, oh my god, I love it. And I said, okay, it's either I make it like right now and I don't sleep, or 13 stores are gonna be releasing the same hairstyle. So I rushed myself, like I think I slept like 2 hours. It was wrong from my side, like I should have slept and like took my time. But like yeah, I made it in less than 24 hours. Like it was crazy. I was like so stressed, like, oh my god, I need to rest and I don't want anyone to be releasing it before I do. And so I did. I think the hairs back then were made with way less detail, you know, so I was able to make my hair in like 2-3 days, like working 8 hours a day. But right now there's so much detail and I'm trying to do like the best thing I can offer. I need at the very least 5 to 7 days, like at the very least.
And talk to us, like, how do you like start from the scratch to the end? Because I know you do so many releases on events as well, you know. So how do you like maintain your schedule? Like, do you have schedule marked for like event releases? Say for example, you see a hairstyle, or you kind of like, is that something like you take inspiration from your mind, your imagination, or you see, or you get inspired from something else? And how do you roll from there then?
You know, most of the times we live on social media. Like it's all about it. Like there is the Kardashians, there's all kind of famous people like constantly dropping new pictures, new styles they're trying on, and like changing their looks like constantly. So nowadays it's more difficult saying no to a new hairstyle than actually picking them, because there are so many to do. And in my case, I can only do 4 a month, you know, so I started saving and saving and saving, and like I have like a folder with, I don't know, 1,000 hairs at least. I think more actually. Not only from the internet, but also from customers and friends. Like a lot of people says, hey, can you please do this hairstyle? I haven't seen it anywhere, and sometimes it's like possible to make them, and so I do like maybe 30 or 40% easy. All my hairs are like chosen by customers, and sometimes they are impossible, so I say okay, I'm gonna save it in case like I learn like new techniques or I do new textures in the future, and I'm like able to make the hairstyle. Because sometimes some people think like they drop me hairstyles and I don't do it. I don't make them because I don't like it. The reality is, if I don't make it, it's because it's not possible to make it in a way I like, at least, or I consider it's like high quality.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the intricate amount of details, you know, since the hair got meshed, is that how you call it, like the hair getting meshed as well? Like since we all transformed from like flexi hair days to like these rigged hairs, was it like a drastic change for you, or did you have to learn really like more heavy programming?
I actually didn't get to leave those days. Like when I joined, all the hair was meshed already, so I didn't get to see. Well, I got to see flexi hair, but I don't even know how it's done. I think it's a print with a texture, and there's like I've never really made anything like that. So when I started, it was already meshed.
Oh, okay. So you had it the easy way then, didn't you? Like you knew that you had to do this, and that's how you started then.
Like I'm doing pretty much the same thing. Like I'm using the same programs and all. Of course, like updated because it's been a lot of years, but it's pretty much the same thing. The only change we had, like all of us, was like making hair from solid to like full alpha. So, but it's also the same thing. It's also meshing.
Well, that's very technical. I wouldn't know anything about it, but I'm sure like now that you are getting used to it, and now that you've come a long way from it, you know, you're a pro at it now. What am I even speaking about? Okay, so my next question would be, now help me out here, okay? How do you first of all pronounce your store name? Literary Doux?
Okay.
Doux? I heard you say Doux before first.
Like that's a question I get like I don't know, every week.
I asked you the first time. I was like, David, I don't want to get this wrong, so you have to tell me how to pronounce this.
It's like when I said tia. In Spanish, I would say letre y Doux. Like literally, I would say Doux. Like I know if there is any French people or people that talk in French hear me right now, it's gonna kill me. And I think it's like let and do. I think that would be the correct pronunciation, but like they are like French words. I'm the person who pronunciates it the worst way possible. So
it's let do, right? Let do.
Yeah. that's what I think.
And what was the other one in Spanish?
Letre
Lettre. Go on, I'll try it.
and Doux.
Doux. Okay, lettre, Doux.
Doux.
Doux. Okay, lettre,
Yeah.
Doux.
Exactly.
Oh, there we go.
I need to get my stuff together and say also let and do, because it's not only easier but like it's like correct, or at least a way more correct than the way I pronounce it.
For the sake of this interview, I'm gonna all say this I'll try to say this in like the Spanish way, okay? And correct me wherever I'm going wrong then. So, David, talk to us about Lettre Doux. How did you start the brand and what challenges you faced? And did you expect it will be the top seller on Second Life, really?
I didn't expect it. I started with like no expectations. At first I was like, as I said, a photographer, and like the main thing I was doing was like photos, and then I said, hey, I don't know, I feel like having like custom stuff. I bought one of those template bags with skins and stuff, and I said, okay, I'm gonna start doing my own skins. And so I did. I started doing my own skins, posting pictures on Facebook, and like a lot of people was interested in buying them. So I said, with time, like I'm saying, it was easy like a whole year before I released anything. I said, well, it's okay, like I'm just gonna start like a little business, you know, like at the same time I was making photographs. So yeah, that's pretty much what I did. I released my own skin line. I remember it was like 4 skins at first, and they were doing pretty good. People loved them. With time I started releasing more things. I had to stop being a photographer because I didn't have the time, just scheduling the picture timing and then like the editing and all of that. It required like minimum 5 hours, and like doing a skin can take 5 or 6 hours, and like I would be earning like more lindens doing a skin than doing like the drawing. Well, it depends, 5 hours or 6 depends also. Of course, if you want to give more options, it's gonna take more time. It depends on the number of shades you want, and also the brow options. If you want to change lips, well, it all depends, but like one skin tone in 5 hours or so you have it.
That's a long process then, isn't it? Is it easier to make skins or is it easier to make hair?
Skins. Like, I don't think anyone will say making hair is easier. If you know both things, skins are easier because you just have to like texture, and if you don't know like any of them, I think it's also easier like making skins, because for making hair you also need to be able to like making textures and alphas and all of that. So definitely yes. And a skin, like if you rush it, you can make a skin with 5 skin tones and brows and no brows option in one day. Nowadays with the hairstyles we all are releasing, I don't think it's possible to make in one hair unless it's very easy, like an easy bun, like very tight bun or something like that. I don't think it's possible, considering all the sizes, like the rigging, all the styles and all of that. Like it's impossible. Like I only uploading sizes and all that, it takes me 3 or 4 hours only doing all that, and building the hairstyle in Second Life, making sure the hats work, all of that easy is 3 or 4 hours.
Now you know exactly what to do, where to do, and so you can roll out things easily, right?
Yeah, well, it still requires time, but like once you get used to it, it's like you're a machine. You're just like, okay, export, import to Second Life, export, import, and you're all like that. If you see one single release on the flow before like making like the connection, like linking all the hairstyles and different styles, it's a mess. Like it's scary to see.
And speaking about like importing and exporting textures and kind of what is your take on Premium Plus? Like for Premium Plus, for creators package, they had kind of 0 knockoff fee, for designers, kind of, well, for everyone really, not just for designers, but really benefited designers because, you had to kind of import textures, and that was like free of charges then. What do you think about that?
And I think it's the first time I heard about that.
Okay. So let me tell you about what Premium Plus is. So on Second Life's birthday, that was I think 3 months ago, Second Life released a Premium Plus package, and that package above the premium thing. And one of its features was having no charges on importing textures. And that really, for example, you give 10 lindens to import a texture, right? Into Second Life. So that is, you would have no charges if you upgrade to the Premium Plus. Obviously, it comes with all the other packages, all the other perks of it, and you have like a support for 24/7, wherever, whenever, and also like other things really. But that was one of the things which got a lot of creators really happy, that you don't have to pay for textures like once you upgrade on that platform for Premium Plus.
I think I was like hiding under a rock because I didn't even know about that. Like after we finish, I'm gonna check what that is, because it definitely sounds good.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna shoot up all the links. Don't worry at all. If we had patchlinden like in the last interview, and he expands a bit further on to Premium Plus, so if you want to know about that more, do check out the interview with Patch as well. What inspires you to create something different each month, and that too consistently? How do you manage to get so many hairstyles, and every hairstyle is different to the other one?
It's mostly people on social media, as I said before, and sometimes, for example, the hairstyle you have on, I released it like five days ago, and people already sending me note cards asking me to make it longer, or maybe doing it with waves, or making it with like no bangs. Like, it's really easy to make new hairstyles. Like they may be similar, but at the end of the day, it's a completely different hair. If I use the same hairstyle as you're using, and I make it with no bangs and long and wavy, it's gonna be a like completely different thing. So like it's really hard to run out of ideas, if you know what I mean. Like there's always something new to do.
So men's hair. So I remember we speaking about men's hair previously. When was the last release of your men's hair this year?
Like the first one I released this year in 2022, it was in February, but the last one I released, which actually was unisex.
Oh, I remember that release. It was really fantastic. And have you specifically thought of making men's specific hair only anytime soon?
I've tried to start making men's hair again this year, and the difference in sales is insane. Like I really tried, and I did 3 of them, and like the sales weren't like super bad, but if I earn, for example, 100 linens with a female hair, like a hair fitting woman shapes, like the one for men, like the short ones, sells 10 linens. Like the difference is that big. And sometimes I do try to do men's hair and so on, but like I also enjoy more doing, like it's more challenging doing female hair than male hair for me. The simple fact that it's long and it has most of the times, in my case, because I love the curls and all of that, it's more challenging. Hairstyle for men, like short hairstyle, it's just gonna be straight in most cases, because if you make it curly, it's gonna be a mess. It just won't look good in Second Life, and so you basically just can make it straight or a little bit wavy, and that's it. I like suffering a little bit.
Obviously you have your audience, and whatever will suit best for you, you will do that for yourself and for the Second Life for sure. So let's move on to another question. It's a bit of a serious one. Okay, so we touched upon your hairstyle idea, being copied into a different platform that we spoke before. As a creator, how does it make you feel?
It's not a nice feeling, especially because you spend so much time doing it. It's kind of weird, like seeing all your hard work being copied and being sold somewhere else. Definitely, I think that's something lindenlabs should get into and try and fix it, because like I know of many creators who are not happy with that kind of things going on. And it's not just about one platform stealing like content, it's many different platforms, and not only, of course, stealing from me, they are stealing from everyone around. For the last couple years especially, I've been receiving at least every couple of weeks I get a new creator in Second Life, like, have you seen that, like that person or that person you from that game is using your hair or selling it in a page. Style of sending DMCA, for example, to patrons, selling my hair. If it was like the opposite way, they would definitely not like it and they would stop doing it. I don't know, I guess someday the punishments and all that will be way more serious and people will stop doing those kind of things. But until then, we just have to wait, I guess.
Because I know you told me that you've created your account on that other platform and kind of looked out for, who was doing it. Have you been able to trace the person yourself? Because obviously there's no regulation from Second Life over here. So have you yourself gone into that platform and seen for yourself who is doing that? Or
Yes, I have. Me and several other creators have been checking it out. Not only that one, but several other ones, and yeah, like, what can I say? I try not to think about it and do my own thing. And if one day, for whatever reason, SL stops like working or whatever, well, I've done all I have on my hands, just like try and help Second Life to grow. Like I cannot do anything else. But some of those places, like the owners or creators of the game or whatever, they are like, they show their face publicly, and it's like that's definitely weird. Like, you are doing something like that and you're showing your face to the public. Anyway, what can I say?
so you can actually see them in real life, like who they are actually. And they still, because they have no regulation, right, that they can do it freely.
I guess that if you know the face and the name of those people, you definitely must be able to do something. The thing is easy, okay, I think, if you live in the same country. The moment you, for example, if that one person lives in USA and I live in Spain, I think it's gonna be kind of difficult to do anything about it. I mean, every day internet gets bigger and bigger and it gets more exposure, so it's a matter of time people will start doing important changes regarding intellectual properties and all of that. I think it's a matter of time.
Would you say Second Life should do something in that matter, make it like a legal thing if your hard work, your ideas are being stolen or being used somewhere? There should be a law for it or something.
Most of us, well, I don't know, but I'm talking about myself. For my designs, I personally pay for copyright rights for the textures and both the textures and mesh. So far, I'm not really getting much into it because the first thing I need for my own health is to avoid all kind of stress. So I'm not really getting a lot into all of that, but just in case I'm getting the copyright for all my things, and in case I need to do anything about it in the future, I have a way to prove it. And we will probably talk about this later, but I learned that a few years ago, if you create in Second Life and you get more or less big, you need to pay for your rights, for your copyright, and make sure whatever you do is just yours, because if you don't have it and someone else steals it and gets copyright for it and you don't have it, it's possible, I don't know how it exactly works, but it's possible that the other one person, because they pay for the copyright, they're gonna have the rights to use it, not you. So all of that is, I'm not a lawyer and anything like that, so I cannot really speak a lot about this. But yeah, I don't know. It's a really complicated topic, and I just hope with time Second Life does something about it. I think there are ways they could do something to make sure the meshes being uploaded are different, or maybe asking the owners to show proof of the copyright of each mesh or model. I don't know. I don't think they can do that, only because it's expensive to register all of your items, Not everyone could afford doing that.
Right.
I I think they should try and find a solution. That would be really nice. And a lot of people, like most people, would actually appreciate it.
For sure, I think protecting designers, protecting creations and hard work is something which Patchlinden also spoke to us about in the previous interviews. And I think speaking to other creators and of the knowledge that I have, Second Life definitely looks into protecting their creators, their designers, the hard work and sheer talent that Second Life has to display and give a platform for. I think they definitely do care about it passionately, and it will be nice to see what Second Life comes up with. If you haven't already checked out the interview, Patchlinden, do check out. I'll provide the link below on his opinion. Once again, a big shout out to all our sponsors for today's episode, premium sponsors Access Event and Therese Chic Event, and our other sponsors Dubai Event and Hands-on Care Maternity and Birthing Clinic. That was a wrap up to part 1 of the interview, guys. I insist you to wait for part 2 coming out very soon with some very interesting conversations continuing with David Cooper over here. Coming out as we get to know who is David in real life, as he shares some of his bone-chilling experiences, some emotional and lots of laughter with us. Do hit the bell icon so you know when new episodes are out. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe to TProductions. I will see you very soon in the part 2 of this episode coming out very soon. Till then, stay virtual and God bless.